that Strut are so much more experienced, especially on big stages.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a big game changer as we see the Strut players on your screen right now. We have Tryhard, Yo-Yo, Ast, Musk, and Boom. And I think the last player, we all know him, and he's a really veteran player when it comes down to the stage experience, which is so important on a stage like this. Being able to cheer up your teammates, being able to support them when they have to find some nerfs. I think that's a really important thing in this match because, as we have said, not only they're new to the stage, Repotted Gaming, but as well, they're the youngest team on average in this competition.
Yes, but a job that Boom also does perfectly is calming the team down. But before we talk more about Strut, let's take a look at Repotted Gaming's stats so far. And this is very cool because I think it's very level between all of them. First of all, the average percentage is insane. Like everyone is at least 96%. And then it's all around the 80% mark. So that's very solid. That means 14 stars. So unless Strut can put on a 15-star war, a perfect war here, then they should be good with that. But first of all, they have to pull it off here as well. But it looks like actually from the stats, it is pretty even though if you look at the whole year, Strut has had a better performance.
And the first attack is live. Philip is in for Repotted Gaming versus this base from Strut. We have talked about this quite a lot in preparation for this event. What are the bases those teams are going to run? Is it going to be the classic anti-3-star style? Is it going to be ring bases again? Like, what is going to be the way to go? And if he's starting on this one, it's going to be the next anti-3-star base with some dragons and dragon riders, Maxi.
But he's sending the Royal Champion for the Town Hall with an Earthquake, I think.
I like it as well. He's got 3 invisibility spells. Yeah, there we go. Earthquake, Invis, yes. And there will also be a very nice Royal Champion ability because it can take out the Town Hall, the 2 Build-Outs, and the Warden statue. Okay, not the Warden statue this time. But I mean, you take the Sweeper as well, right? Because he is following things up with the Dragons, with the Dragon Riders. So that's already a really solid start for him. And he's getting some bats in there. If you're wondering why this bat spell is used, it's to tank the defenses, the scatter shot, the air defense, and everything. Making sure there's not too much damage early on his Dragons. And with now King and Queen not even placed yet, he's looking pretty solid for the beginning of this attack.
Yeah, but what I think is very interesting is that his balloons didn't pull a single air trap. So that means Strut must have put them in some other places, maybe more center towards the base, maybe in this dead zone between the 2 Inferno towers we see, but they have yet to be pulled out. And Philip also already invested his Warden ability, so that means he cannot protect dragons from seeking air mines, from red mines throughout the core of this base anymore. So I like the approach very much with the Royal Champion for the Town Hall because that has to be quite surprising and only cost him 2 spells there, but we have to see if he can get through the back end of the space with the King and King and Queen still being on the field.
That's right, Maxi, especially because Repotted is famous for using their Lalo strategies, so them now going completely different route might catch Strut off guard, or at least their base building team right now. With the scatter shot now on the back end, we have talked about there's another black mine inside the core, defending that single Inferno Tower, but it's not all about his heroes, but I would say things are looking pretty good considering that he has the Queen ability, he has the Lightning to maybe take down this. Yeah, he can take down all those skeletons if he wants to, and he has the invisibility spell to place.
Oh, the Lightning was used too late, and I think it would have been better to keep it actually, because as you know, the Lightning can make the single Inferno target, single Inferno Tower retarget.
Yes.
And it also has to charge up completely new. Then maybe he could use it now, for example. I mean, he's still a Stimulus. He's good anyway.
He's good to go.
It doesn't matter at that point. That was so cool to watch. A very new approach, very surprising here, and a convincing 3-star to start things off.
Wow, what a first attack this was. We have seen already plenty of attacks which were out of the box thinking. I love this so much with the teams really trying out different approaches to catch the other team off guard because we heard it. We were talking with the players before those matches and they said some of them were more confident about their base building. Some of them said, okay, we'll try some things out. And we see the post-attack stats with him getting this 3-star in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. So I would say a decent time.
Yeah, absolutely a decent time and a decent attack, Itsu. No, it was a great start, especially with all the pressure you have. We can see him there taking a sip of water because, you know, this is stressful. This is very, very stressful for these players, especially Philip and his team because it is their first World Championship, obviously, and their first time that they have to play a match on stage.
Lalo 23, known as Lalo 23 as well, in. And he's doing exactly what he's famous for, the Lalo, with a couple of ice sounds. We have seen them quite a lot today, I would say. I think more than usually. Normally we always see the regular hounds, but today a lot of ice sounds in the mix. But he's running early on into some Tesla, so this might be a protected side from Repotted and their base building crew.
Yes, and they are very much known for their good base building and their predictions of enemy teams. But Yo-Yo reacting perfectly here on the fly. I mean, with the King ability, he gets the Royal Champion, gets the air defense, but the CC, but the Clan Castle is coming out, and he has to make sure to get this Town Hall with the Queen ability, and there it goes. And this hero dive is going, I think, perfectly to plan, actually. And the Royal Champion! Oh, she's already on the Eagle Artillery, taking it out. Look at that!
It's so crazy how much value you can get if you know how to utilize your heroes. I mean, this so far were mainly the heroes with some supportive troops, and he already got so much out of this base. And, I mean, now the Lalo is still to play, and we know how good he can be with Lalo, so looking forward to see where he's entering. I guess would be... Okay, I would have said the bottom side, but I will just...
At least you're honest.
I would have said the other side, but now let's see if how much value this ice sound can actually get.
Yes, yeah, I think it should pop right between these inverters. Oh, and all the traps it pulls, that is incredible. And sending in the Stone Slammer here as well to support the Lalo. And what I love is how calm he is with this Warden ability. He just takes his time, because the damage will come towards the end of this Lalo here in the back end compartments he has left. And he's just waiting patiently.
Yeah, we see again how many loons here still have. This is so impressive with those pro Lalo attackers. They're so precise when it comes down to the Lalo and the loons where they want to drop them in, because now more loons are coming from the bottom side, pushing everything back to the top into the multi-throne tower. And Maxi, this is looking so good.
It is, but so far nothing is really going to that single Inferno tower, to be honest. He's got a free spell left and the Stone Slammer, but the Warden is being targeted, the Owl is being targeted, and the balloons are getting thinned out here. And I think this, whatever he has in the Stone Slammer, has to finish this attack.
Yeah, the backhand has to go down versus whatever is there in there. You said it right. And it seems to be some Dragon Rider, no, some loons and one Dragon Rider. So,
but no traps.
It should be no problem. And we see the first Space Tower, the response of Strut versus Repotted.
Yes, and you can tell that they are one of the favorites here. I mean, they have been world champions in 2020, and many of them have taken part in the World Championship even more than that. They are very well known in the community, and they are very popular as well. And I mean, the time is running low. Did someone jinx it here? I don't know.
No.
I think, okay. He's fist pumping there with his teammate. He's got it. 3 seconds on the clock. Yeah, it got a little shaky.
We knew that. Okay,
yeah, we just played this, you know. We were 100% sure. Look at him shaking his head. He didn't want it to be that close. But anyways, it is the 3-star. It is the exact right answer to Repotted Gaming. And we have a match at hand. And as the camera is flying in through the arena, we will see Giannis flying in with yet another Lalo attack that he is starting off with his heroes. The King coming in from the right side, and I guess that the Queen will follow him shortly, trying to funnel him into the Eagle Artillery with the sneaky goblins. It works. And there goes the Queen, supported by the Giant. So we have a hero dive here, and a lock launcher added into. You love that, I know it.
Yes, I love it so much, because it looks like it does work. I mean, we should add that, but if it works, it looks just so OP, because it feels like those 3 heroes are going to take down nearly the entire base, it feels like, with the power of the lock launcher, opening up the walls. And not only opening up the walls, but as well you can see the lock launcher is about to take down this Inferno Tower with the sweeper as well.
Yeah, and if that wasn't enough, it just bounces these headhunters away like nothing. And we know that headhunters are the natural enemy of heroes, but they just were, blown away by the logs here. So now it's going to be interesting to see if we can take out this multi-inferno with the Yeti bites. Oh my god, these builders are doing a great job keeping the multi-inferno alive.
Yeti.
And he's running into problems.
Yeti mites.
Oh, finally it goes down.
Yes, and the Queen took down the Scatter as well. He had to invest a couple of spells, so we will figure out in just a second if it is, well, if it was a too heavy investment overall. But he's starting the Lado now into the town. He did not take down the air defense with the sweep, the tornado trap might be still a big factor. And Queen just went down, Max.
I was hoping he would freeze the single target Inferno as well, because that Unicorn is just so strong. The Queen had 0 damage, and the Unicorn was healing her back up, but there she went, and there goes Giannis's Warden ability, and that was just beautiful. Look at that, he also protected the Hound, that could then fly all the way through the end of the base, and I think, honestly, at this point, he didn't need the heal spell anymore, and that was such a convincing attack. Congratulations to Giannis, honestly. This was a great Lalo and a great attack, a great plan. I just loved everything about it.
That was just super impressive. As I said, like, when you take down that much with your heroes, and then the Lalo just looked easy. I mean, he was able to trigger the tornado trap with those first couple of hounds, and with that being out of the way, the Towner was no problem falling next, and that was such a good thing. You can see the motivation from them and getting excited.
Go the lights through the arena, and pew, will us troops go through the base? Let's hope so. We has been known to be very, very good at exploiting the meta, and I see 3 barbarians, 2 archers. Usually for me that means a flame flinger, but I see a blimp. So let's just see what he's got. He's got the skeleton donut to start it off. Those were 2 very, very quick invisibility spells, but he's doing damage to those buildings, Itsu, and it seems like they're going down.
That's right. Maxi, what did you just do to him? Clan Castle staying up. You pointed out the first 2 invisibility spells were kind of quick, so the Clan Castle staying up.
I think he tried to go with 3, if I'm not 100% sure, and saved the third one, and that was maybe a little too greedy at this point. But we have seen some players, for example Stars, pull off these attacks even though they failed the skeleton Lalo. So let's see, he's got 2 giants to protect the Queen. We have to see how this heroes there at the bottom side can get into the base.
I'm not sure when the Clan Castle is going to get lured, because this was supposed to go down. So this Queen originally is not intended to lure the Clan Castle, but she might do that with the King together. And if this tower is not going down, this would be bad news for him. He has 1 invisibility spell to maybe redirect or protect his troops. But the Clan Tower not going down either. Maybe the King can take it down.
Yes, and especially I think he wanted that multi-inferno for sure, but he also wanted to make sure that these troops do not trigger the Queen, so she would go the wrong way. So he got the town hall down, but the multi is still alive.
Yeah, then Current Tower staying up with literally 0 hit points. Now those Dragon Riders have to carry. I feel like, yes, Dragon Riders can be strong, but most of those sabers, as we were talking about with like Stars, were mainly Lalo attacks. So let's see how strong those Dragon Riders still are. The first couple of Black Mines are hitting those Dragon Riders not within the warden ability, and he's closing in onto the core. We're waiting for more Black Mines.
Yes, and look at that. Yet another multi remains standing. Oh, the freeze spell wasn't just in time because this Dragon Rider is low on health. But he gets it done perfectly with the rage and the freeze. That was some nice stuff there by us. But he has to get into a back and air defense still. But he also has 2 more spells to use. So this is going to get exciting in the next couple seconds.
Do you think he's going to turn the Archer Tower invisible to make sure those Dragon Riders are going to target the air defense right away?
No? Short answer, no. I think he's going to make his Warden and the Dragon Riders invisible once they approach the Archer Tower.
He's not okay. He's taking his time. The first Dragon Rider falls, but time is the important key point.
Honestly, that was he just tried to freeze both structures, but I think it's not possible. And if he had frozen the Archer Tower, that could have been a problem here. But the main problem for him at this moment, Itsu, is the clock running down. There is no cleanup in the space. The King's still alive, protecting this Dark Elixir storage, and as he's just 1 second on the clock, he finishes with a 95%, and it is the first time a player has fallen short in this war.
And the next attack is alive. Mech is in. And we see a Queen Charge Hydra attack. But the interesting story about this, we typically see with this strategy with charging the Eagle. But Maxi, this at the bottom side is not the Eagle as far as I know.
You know, I'm not the youngest anymore. I'm a little short-sighted, but it seems to be the Town Hall for me, am I right?
I think you are.
I am, okay, thank God. So I can still get this right, but you are right as well. So I don't know if this approach works, honestly, because we have seen this from, who did it? I think X-Team Esports even. Maybe you can help me. One team charged the Town Hall and then did the Dragon Riders next to the Town Hall. Maybe it wasn't the first war, it doesn't matter, but it is an approach that Tribe Gaming, while I was still playing there, used last year very much, and there we always charged the Town Hall, but not with Hydra, but with Dragon Riders. So it's going to be interesting what they do here, and we see the Battle Blimp being used at the top side with the Rage and the Yetis, a little bit like two players from X-Team Esports did, and there the Hydra is starting with the King on the inside, on the outside, to keep the Hydra on the inside.
That's right, you want to keep those dragons going from defense to defense if possible, because that's where they're having the most value. Castle though is getting lured now towards that queen. It depends now how those dragons are pathing, because this queen is dropping low. But the Rage is keeping her alive for now.
She's still low. Wow. I don't know how she got that much damage, but the ability was forced, and there's still a lot to go through in this phase. And at some point, Meg is going to have to use the Royal Champion, and there she goes. But look at that, the back end looks very scary to me with the Queen, with the scatter shot and the air defense. He doesn't have a headhunter, and he has not sent it yet, so he has to invest the freeze there, I think.
That's right, but at the same time, you see all of those opening corner walls. So this Queen is having a great time on the back end. Question though is, can all of the key defenses fall before? That freeze was incredible, and with that, the scatter is getting taken care of, the Royal Champ, and Maxi, this is looking like another 3-star.
Wow, look at him looking at the screen and consciously like, well, I don't know, I mean, I just tripled against Strut, whatever, it's just a World Championship, who cares? Meg doesn't, and that was an incredible showing here. He didn't lose any, show any nerves there, he didn't lose his calmness there, and this is a convincing 3-star with 30 seconds on the clock, and Repotted Gaming keep the pressure high, and they keep the perfect streak.
This was so important, I feel like, for them, because Strut just failed. They getting the 3-star is such a big game changer, it feels. So this is incredible. Because this attack was so incredible, I think we're diving into a small replay. Just check out how this attack went down. What was the crucial moment of the attack, and what was the game changer there with the core. And we talked about how many black mines there are in the core, how many air traps in general in the core. And it feels like somehow the troops were able to manage to get through that somewhat nicely with the Royal Champion leading the charge.
Exactly, you say it. Look at this. He was just laughing. I love it. I love the emotions we have here on the live stage, and that's why it's so nice.
The crowd is going wild. Let's have a look. Tryhard is the next attacker for Strut, and he is in. It's going to be a Lalo attack. He's having some lightnings in the mix as well, and we have to wait what he's going for with those lightnings, Maxi.
Yes, and he's got 5 of them. That means he can zap a Inferno Tower, but not an Expo and not a Scatter Shot. But he's starting things off here with his heroes. Probably one of the multi-Infernos, I would guess at this point. But we have to wait and see. But so far, things are looking good. He's not finding too much that is surprising him. And the Queen should make her way into the Town Hall. That is the most important thing.
Yeah, it should work. The question, though, is why is he delaying those lightnings? Maybe because he wants to take down the Clan Castle at the same time. So maybe the Singer Inferno Tower. We're going to find out in just a second as the King is charging into that Eagle compartment. But oh my lord, there's so many traps there. Skeleton traps. Tesla, giant bombs, everything located in there, and the Clan Castle is coming out as well with the Inferno Tower in the core being taken care of.
Yes, that was very good, and I like the invisibility spell there on the Royal Champion. She can also take out the enemy Queen because she was still poisoned, I think, from the poison he used for his troops. So that was some good value. And what's interesting is that Tryhard has used the Zap Lalo strategy a lot of times, actually, in almost every 6th attack that he did this year. And it is the attack strategy that he has the highest hit rate with. A 90% hit rate, but it's just insane, the consistency. So let's see if it was the right choice for this one as well. But I think so far the Lalo is going into the base very, very nicely, it seems.
Yeah, and he's sitting in the Hound from a nice angle, so he can cover the Hound with the Warden ability as well. And we're going to see in just a second. Maybe no, he's not covering down with the Warden ability. We have seen early how strong it was.
Why.
Yes, he's waiting for the Headhunters to take down the defending Royal Champion. There they go, taking her out. quickly. But there's this sweeper going against the Lalo, which might be a problem.
And once again, a multi-inferno. I mean, we've seen that before towards the end of the tech. The sweeper and the multi-inferno, and these balloons are running low on health. And they don't go there still. There's this one loon through the haze, but I don't think it's enough. Even though to red my mid, that is actually good for him. He lured 2 traps there. But honestly, Itsu,
this pathing.
There are so many defenses. I think he's falling short here. I don't think he can make it. This is the second fail for Strut.
I mean, we have talked about the base building from Repotted. We have talked about that many times. They are one of the best teams when it's coming down to base building, and they're showing this off. I mean, apparently Strut really struggling to find solid entries, to find the entries they like and they would like to bring in. This is going to be another defense, and I would say not the highest percentage you would. I mean. Yeah, would never like to get 2 stars, but
absolutely,
above 95 would be a nice thing. That still.
That's true, because it would put more pressure once Repotted Gaming would fail as well. But yeah, look at this uneven duel here between the little minion and the big boy, the Lava Hound here, and we could see, unfortunately, the disappointment on Tryhard's face as this attack did certainly not go according to plan.
And Timtastic is live, and I think this looks like his, maybe his special attack, okay? Like, this is something he was doing already in stage 4, which is a Warden Walk with the Flame Fling at the same time. I was asking him to get this to the big stage, because this is something which we do not see that often from other players, and this is just so cool. So what is about to happen is pretty much he's trying to combine the Warden Walker, makes a nice flame flinger value possible, and then he's going to push with the Warden together with his heroes somewhere into the base. To has like he's going to pretty much smash into the base with just his heroes, and then he's playing a back end Lalo, which is always looking quite impressive. So I cannot wait to see how well this is going to work or not work.
Yes, and look at that. He brought the 3 barbarians and 3 archers to distract the mortar in case it would go for the flame flinger. But because of his Warden walk, the Warden actually distracted the mortar here. Now it is getting distracted by the giant, but he's still adding the barbarians and the archers. He is so calm, and he's doing everything so perfectly at this point. And now all the heroes have been sent in as well, Itsu, and they all converge together.
Yeah, I feel like this was overall a risky approach, because if there's a Tesla farm in front of the multi-inferno tower, this would have been tricky to funnel. But instead, he is looking really good, especially with that clan castle. No Lava Hound, so his heroes should get this dive towards the town hall. And if that all of that works, I mean, only the Eagle side is left standing, and this so far is looking fantastic, Maxi.
It is looking Timtastic indeed, and he's sending the Royal Champion into the multi-inferno, tanking the Expo, but he's still okay. At this point, he opens the Flame Flinger to make sure his troops do some damage, otherwise the attack is over before the Flame Flinger is dead, because this Siege Machine is so powerful. But what is also powerful is Timtastic's Queen making her way to the Town Hall. Wow. And this has to go down in order for them to get at least the 2-star. But this is looking good, Itsu.
I mean, where's the base? This just looks so unfair. I mean, okay, around the town there was quite some defenses, but the only thing now, which might be a problem for him, is that his Royal Champion is getting taken care of, that King. The Warden itself is now on ground, so it's not going to help the Loons too much, because it's going to get taken down from the King, and the spells are keeping their Queen alive. And this was like a Warden walk into a hero dive into a Queen charge, while the Loons were just cleaning things up.
That was such an impressive attack, honestly. Like, it was like, what was the attack that was also such an overkill? I think it was our second attack. I don't recall.
Hero dive Lalo, I think.
Yeah, exactly. That was also, it was Giannis's attack.
Yeah.
The hero dive with the lock launcher. And look at this. He also has so many spells left. And also look at his humbleness. Not swagging spells left and right. He's just grinning into the camera, happy that he could make it for his team. And they are very close to taking out one of the favorites here in this tournament. Yes, and it is going to be Musk attacking for Strut, and he has had a perfect hit rate on Strut's way to qualifying for the World Championship, but now they are in a position that you usually don't love to attack in, because the opponent have only gotten 3 stars so far, and Strut has 2 fails. So that means, in theory, Repotted Gaming would win this one if they get a 2-star. But still, you know, we don't know what kind of base Strut has used. Maybe it's a ring base in the last one, so it's definitely m.s.'s job now to keep the pressure on. And he's doing that with his favorite attack strategy. It's to the Queen charge Lalo.
That's right, and setting this blimp in early on to break the pathing to make sure this Queen is actually going towards that Eagle. And with the Clan Castle out of the way, and especially, I mean, having Rocket and Clan Castle getting ruled out early, Super Minions as well, losing all of their special shots. I think it's looking pretty solid with the Rage now, and the Poison perfectly shared for the defending Queen and the Super Minions. It's looking like a good start for this tag.
Yeah, it's looking really good. I like the blimp value very much. I like how little spells he had to use for the Queen so far, and we just know that m.s. can control his Queen perfectly. Now sending this King into the multi-inferno, using just the Valkyrie, which I think is a little ballsy, because there are 2 Tesla spots right next to this building, so it could have been very well that the Valkyrie doesn't do the funneling here, but it worked so far. And the Queen now is getting...
Wall breaks did go to the wrong side. He tried to wall break at the Clan Castle, but instead this has not worked. Really, really unfortunate. Getting betrayed by his wall breakers, and now the Town Hall is on the back end. So he's taking full risk, okay? Like, there's no difference. A 2-star and 1-star is pretty much the same result for him at this point. So having the Town on the back end is, for this one, somewhat fine. Yeah. But again, the Inferno Tower, what is happening?
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, again, a multi-target Infernos is not being pathed to by the balloon. So he has to use... he has to try to get the Town Hall with his heroes now, because the Lalo didn't get very far. He's got the Royal Champion, but he doesn't have... Okay, he's keeping the Rage at this point, hoping that the Queen will go towards the Town Hall. That was some good stuff there. He uses the ability, and then he can still use the Rage for the Queen, because, I mean, time is running low, but he's got the King, he's got 6 minions still left, and this will be a 3-star Itsu.
Yeah, and you see got the Rage, which he can use now. He's using it really aggressively, because he knows there's not enough damage for his Queen to get taken down, and oh, you see all of the red mines coming in, but the Lalo did not even have to go there, so this is going to be a nice 3-star picked up by Strut, and the dream is still alive. I mean, we know Repotted at this point have to go for the 2-star, and they should have this in the bag, but at the same time, if this now is a tricky base, he's running into some issues, this can maybe still have some problems there.
Absolutely, and it was very nice to see m.s. there being happy, being cheered at by the live crowd. That is so nice, and we can see him. He is praying, he is hoping for the best right now, because you said it, there is still a chance, but yeah, so far it definitely hasn't gone in Strut's favor. But very nice to see m.s. putting off the next 3-star and keeping his perfect streak of 100%. Yes, and we can see him coming in with the Super Dragons!
2 stars.
No way. This is so cool, honestly. I wouldn't have expected to see any Super Dragons in this, since their usage has gone down a lot since a recent meta change. But now, so far, he is using some rocket balloons to get into the Town Hall, or like to get a blimp later on into the Town Hall and take it out. And I think that is a very clever approach when all you need is a 2-star. So he's lured out a little bit of the Clan Castle. He has made a path for the blimp towards the Town Hall, looking for Seeking Air Mines. And there it goes, the blimp with the support of the Warden ability into the Town Hall. And Itsu, so far, this is looking like a wait with 2-star.
Yes, it's looking really good.
Oh, the Town Hall goes down.
That's the important thing, okay? The blimp even got the Inferno Tower, so even better for him. But I think the reason why he brings the Super Dragons is because they're more consistent, okay? Like Electric Dragons, you can get baited with like skeleton traps. Super Dragons, they just don't care. They're so consistent getting the 2nd star in, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yes,
that's right. 50%,
wow.
And the Town Hall Star is there. And with that, Repotted Gaming taking down Strut, sending them to the lower bracket. But Maxi, can this attack still be a 3-star, even though it was, I guess, designed to be a 2-star?
I'm not sure exactly, as you said, it was designed to be a 2-star. You didn't even bring any headhunters there, even though there is a hero farm.
I think one headhunter.
Oh, you're right, yeah, I'm blind. See?
told you I'm too old for this. But yeah, he's doing a great job with it, in fact. And he's got 3 spell left. But this multi-inferno, the queen ability is going to get forced. But yeah, there is a chance for sure. But still, I mean, at this point, I don't think he even cares.
Yeah.
It would be nice, of course, but they just showed us the first surprise of this tournament. I mean, we knew they were good. We knew their base building was great, but holding Strut back to at least 13 stars, maybe even less, is just a great way to start the competition. And General X, honestly, this is better than any 3-star you will ever get. You just got the victory for your team, and that's exactly what you need to do in such a situation. Go for the 2-star and get the victory for your team, and the crowd is appreciating that as well.
And he is live. He is in, and he is bringing the Queen Charge. What he loves, what he's doing in Legends, but not with Halo. He's switching it up with some Dragon Riders. But I saw it already. He switched to the Flamefinger, okay? The Flamefinger right now, I think one of the favorite siege machines to attack with. I think it's the most hated siege machine from the base builders, because in the right hands, it just feels so incredible broken. And the question now is this Queen broken as well? Because this is, I mean, boom, this is close.
He's got the ground, but he needs to rage very, very soon. And yeah, he just showed us the perfect timing of a rage spell.
Never done.
I mean, it's not like Boom has doing queen charges just for 2 years or so. I mean, this man loves his queen, this man loves his healers, and he's doing this for, I don't know, half a decade, I guess. And this wall break is just insane. It can give him so much access to so many structures there, and he's got another wall breaker, so it's going to be interesting to see where he will send it in later on, as the Flamefinger is doing a great job on the right side, taking out the scatter shot and funneling his queen.
Wow, I mean, just from looking at it, I think the next wall break is supposed to go into the Clan Castle, because this means that he's getting access towards the multi-inferno tower and the defending Royal Champion. If that wall break works, this looks just OP, the charge, but at the same time, we have to wait for a trance. We have to wait how things are looking, and there's the Queen ability getting forced. Where is the Queen stepping next? Is she going as he's intended, or is the wall break maybe to get that Queen out of the compartment again? We'll find out, because the Dragon Rise just started.
No, he is in fact putting the wall breaker right as you expected him to, but yeah, as you said, now the Queen somehow takes off the same buildings as the Dragon Rider, so it wasn't really necessary in my opinion. Would have been nice to send it in now to have a chance to send the Queen into the scatter shot compartment in the back end, because that is what Boom still has to go up against. But Royal Champion with ability, some Yetis on the outside, I don't think it's looking bad.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good overall. The Queen ability, though, is gone, so it's really relying on those Dragon Riders to pick those buildings off, while the Queen is tanking with her healers, and Boom is doing it. He is getting those spray stars in, you said it, keeping the morale high, because they have to fight one more match. We all know it's a double elimination bracket, so the one loss, it's not the end of the world. You still have your chance to come back, and this is the attack to keep the motivation high and making sure that they're then hyped up for the next one.
Yes, absolutely. Boom, such a humble man, clapping here to the crowd, to the opponent, to everyone around.
Yeah.
They would have liked to win this one, but Repotted Gaming here with the perfect star of first straight triples gets the victory in this match. Congratulations to them.